All right, let's talk about something everybody dreams about, at some point. That incredible wedding or amazing event you've always wanted to throw, right? You've got the vision, the guest list, all that excitement, but then there's the budget. And let's face it, everybody has a budget, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You sent us some info about wedding and event financing options, and we're going to deep dive into all of that today.
That's right. We're going to break down what all those options really mean, the different approaches, and some key factors to consider, all based on the info you've given us.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The source talks about wedding and event loans being similar to personal loans.
Right.
Can you break that down for us? What does that even mean?
Yeah. So think of it this way.
Okay.
It's like borrowing money for that awesome vacation you've always wanted. Except in this case, it's for your dream wedding or event. You borrow from a lender and pay it back over time. Usually with a little extra added on top.
Okay.
That's the interest.
Got it. So basically it's extra cash to bring your vision to life.
Exactly.
Well, what about finding the right loan? The source mentions using a broker.
Right.
What's the advantage there?
Imagine a broker, like your personal loan shopping assistant.
Okay.
Instead of you going from bank to bank, comparing rates and terms, they do the legwork for you.
Wow.
They work with a whole bunch of lenders, which means they can snag you the best deal.
Okay.
Based on your own financial situation, potentially saving you time and money.
Okay. So that sounds pretty handy.
It is.
But now comes the big question. How much can you actually borrow? The source mentions your income expenses, credit history, and existing debt all play a role. Can you walk us through that?
Think of it like a lender putting your finances under a microscope.
Oh, wow.
They're checking to see how financially fit you are and how risky it would be to lend to you. Your income shows them you have the means to repay the loan.
Makes sense.
Your expenses paint a picture of your monthly bills, rent, groceries.
Yeah.
That streaming subscription you can't live without. And then there's your credit history. It's like your financial report card.
Oh, okay.
It shows how well you've handled borrowed money in the past. Were you on time with those credit card payments? Did you pay back that student loan responsibly?
Right.
All that gets factored in.
Right.
And of course, any existing debt you have also comes into play. They want to make sure you're not taking on more than you can handle.
So it's all about making sure you can manage the loan without getting into financial trouble down the road. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The source points out that many couples actually regret not having the wedding they truly wanted.
Oh, wow.
Because of financial worries. It's a tricky balance between making your dreams happen and being smart with your money. Especially with all the emotions involved in planning a big event.
That makes so much sense. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement and want everything to be perfect. But then the financial stress can really take away from the joy of the occasion. So how do you find that sweet spot? How do you balance those big dreams with the reality of a budget before getting swept up in all the wedding whirlwind?
One of the biggest things is having open and honest conversations with your partner right from the start.
Okay.
Talk about your financial goals. Maybe you're saving for a house or planning for a family. Discuss how much debt you're both comfortable with. Figure out what truly matters most to both of you. Is it the incredible venue, the designer dress, or an amazing photographer to capture all the memories?
Yeah.
Once you've aligned on your values and priorities, you can start making informed choices about where to splurge and where to save.
Okay, so before you even dive into the details,
Yeah.
you need to be on the same page as your partner about the big picture.
Exactly. And that's where smart budgeting comes in. The source really emphasizes this.
Okay.
Think of your budget like a roadmap to your dream event. It helps you stay on track and avoid any financial surprises down the road.
So how do we create this awesome budget roadmap?
Well, the source suggests breaking down your budget by vendor.
Okay.
Think of it like creating mini budgets within your overall wedding or event budget. How much can you realistically spend on the venue, catering, attire, photography, flowers, entertainment, and everything in between?
Yeah.
Assign a specific amount to each category. This way you can avoid overspending in one area and coming up short in another.
So it's about setting those boundaries from the beginning and then sticking to them.
Right.
But what if your dream venue costs a bit more than your allotted budget? The source mentioned something about negotiating with vendors.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many vendors are willing to work with you.
Oh, really?
To find a solution that fits both your needs and your budget. Don't be afraid to talk openly about your budget constraints and ask for options within that range.
That's such a good tip.
It is.
So many people are afraid to negotiate, but it could end up saving you a lot of money in the long run.
Absolutely. And speaking of helpful resources,
Yeah.
The Source actually recommends a fantastic tool from the Australian government's Money Smart website.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a free, downloadable wedding budget planning template.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll definitely have to link to that in the show notes. Tell me more about this Money Smart template. What does it actually do?
It's like having a virtual wedding planner
Wow.
to help you get organized and stay on top of your finances.
Oh,
It helps you estimate those wedding costs, track your spending as you go, and avoid any nasty financial surprises down the road. Definitely a must-have tool for anyone planning a wedding.
I love that. It's like having a financial safety net for your big day. But okay, let's say we've got our budget sorted.
Right.
Now let's look at how loans actually fit into the picture. The source mentioned different types of loans.
Okay.
Full doc specialist, low doc, and credit impaired. I'll be honest, those sound a bit intimidating.
Yeah,
Can you break those down for us in a way that's easy to understand?
absolutely. Let's start with the most common type full doc loans.
Okay.
Think of these as the show me the receipts loans. They require a lot of paperwork.
Oh no.
Pay slips, tax returns, bank statements, basically proof of everything you earn, spend, and own.
So it's for people who have all their financial ducks in a row, right?
Exactly. They want to make sure you're a safe bet. Now, on the other hand, we've got specialist loans.
Okay.
Think of these as the unique situation loans.
Okay.
They're tailored for folks who might have more complex financial situations like self-employed individuals or those with investments that aren't the usual stocks and bonds.
Interesting. So a bit more specialized, as the name suggests. What about low doc loans? What makes them different?
Think of these as the less paperwork loans.
Okay.
They don't require as much documentation, which can be a lifesaver for someone who's self-employed or maybe just starting out and doesn't have a long credit history.
More flexibility there.
Okay.
Last one, credit impaired loans. Those sound a little scary. What's the deal with those?
Let's be real. Everyone makes financial mistakes sometimes. Maybe you missed a few credit card payments in the past, or life threw you a curveball and you had to file for bankruptcy. Credit-impaired loans are designed to help people who have had some credit challenges get back on track.
That's actually really reassuring to know. So even if you've had some bumps in the road, there are still options available.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right fit for your situation. And remember, these specific loan types and terms are based on the Australian context, so they might be slightly different in other countries.
Good point. It's always important to do your research and understand the specifics of your location. Now, I want to circle back to something the source mentioned that really caught my attention. It said that Australian couples often overspend on their weddings by around 25%. That's a pretty significant amount. Why do you think that happens?
Well, weddings are a whirlwind of emotions. You're excited, maybe a little stressed, and there's this pressure to create the perfect day. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and make decisions based on feelings rather than logic.
Oh.
You might fall in love with a venue that's a bit above budget.
Oh, yeah.
Or get swept away by a stunning dress you just happy to have.
So the heart takes over and the budget goes out the window.
Exactly. And let's not forget the power of the wedding industry itself. It's a multi-billion-dollar machine, and there's a lot of pressure to spend. Plus, there's this whole keeping up with the Joneses mentality. You see what everyone else is doing, whether it's in magazines or on social media.
Yeah.
And it's easy to feel like you need to keep up.
It's like everyone's trying to one-up each other with the most extravagant wedding. But what are some strategies couples can use to avoid this overspending trap? How do they stay grounded and make sure their wedding is a celebration, not a financial burden?
I think the key is to remember what truly matters. It's about celebrating your love and commitment to each other, not about impressing other people.
Yeah.
If you and your partner are on the same page about your priorities and your budget, you're much less likely to get swept away by all the bells and whistles.
That makes sense. It's about focusing on the meaning behind the celebration, not just the outward appearance.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to get creative. Who says you need to follow all the traditional wedding rules? Maybe you opt for a smaller, more intimate ceremony with close friends and family. Or maybe you choose a less expensive venue and splurge on something that's really important to you, like a live band or amazing food.
I love that. It's about personalizing your wedding to make it truly reflect you as a couple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's something else to think about. The source focused on personal loans, but there are so many other creative financing options out there. Have you considered crowdfunding?
Oh,
Maybe close friends and family would be willing to contribute to your dream wedding fund.
that's a great idea, especially for couples who are maybe a little more budget conscious.
Exactly. Or what about setting up a gifting registry focused on experiences rather than material possessions? Maybe your guests could contribute to your honeymoon fund or help you tick off a bucket list adventure.
Oh, I love that. It's like investing in memories instead of things. Yeah, it's all about thinking outside that traditional wedding box and finding what works best for you as a couple. So as we wrap up this deep dive into wedding and event financing, what are some key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind?
I think if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, it's really crucial to remember that a wedding or a big event is just one day or maybe a few days in your life.
Right.
Don't let the excitement of this moment derail your long-term financial goals.
That's so important. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, but you don't want to start your marriage or your next big chapter in life burdened by debt.
Exactly. Think about your financial well-being beyond the big day. Are you saving for a house, planning for retirement, starting a business? Don't lose sight of those goals.
So true. It's all about finding that balance, celebrating the moment while also setting yourself up for a bright financial future.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is to enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
Don't let financial stress overshadow the joy of your special occasion.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating your love, creating lasting memories, and enjoying the journey.
Exactly. Focus on what truly matters to you. Make informed choices that align with your values and your budget. And remember, it's your day. Personalize it and make it your own.
That's such great advice. All right, well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of wedding and event financing. We've covered everything from understanding different loan options to smart budgeting tips, and even explored the emotional side of planning these big events. Hopefully you're feeling empowered and equipped to navigate this process with confidence and excitement.
Definitely. Remember, planning a wedding or a special event should be a joyful experience. Take your time, do your research, and most importantly, have fun.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to those amazing resources we mentioned, like the Money Smart Wedding Budget Planning Template. Until next time, happy planning.